the Renegades of Pop. I'm RJ.
I'm Andrea.
And before we get started on today's episode, just a couple little plugs. If you're liking us, be sure to subscribe. Click the little bell. That way you get updates on when we upload. Like this video. It really does help. And follow us on Instagram. And join the Facebook group so you can, hang out with us. So let's go ahead and get started with today's topic. What is your topic?
My topic today is timeless albums, like albums you think are amazing from start to finish, or like, something that meant something to you, like you heard it and you were like, holy crap, like this is the best thing I've ever heard. And it's just like, you can listen to it all the time. Like it is just something you don't have to stop. You don't have to next the song. Like you can listen to it all the way through and it's as good as the first time you heard it as it is now.
Okay. Do you got one right off the bat?
Oh, I have a list.
Oh.
I made a list because,
Ain't you special?
No, because, for every time in your life, there's a different album that you... Yeah, I have a few.
Okay,
I have a list. Okay, but I will start off first since they just released their new album, Ohms. I will talk about Deftones and some of their timeless albums. People are going to name White Pony. White Pony is very timeless.
All right.
Also very mainstream.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to talk about that album. I listened to that album for the very first time, like a month ago? It was
probably when Ohms came out. You were like, I'm going to listen to White Pony all the way through.
Yeah, because I watched this YouTube video about how it really changed the band's sound. And it was really interesting to me enough to where I was like, I'm going to check out this album. I'm going to go from beginning to end in order, not shuffled. It's a damn good album. And you don't even have to be the hugest Deftones fans. If you're just into that heavier genre of music, it's fucking great.
Yeah, White Pony was the first Deftones album I had ever heard, and that's what kind of got me into Deftones.
Yeah.
But I won't say that it's by far my favorite album. I think, I'm not going to be one of those people oh, it's so mainstream. Ugh. No, that's fucking lame. No, but I do think Saturday Night Wrist is probably my favorite Deftones album.
What's on that album?
That's Hole in the Earth. Shit.
Anything I actually know. Isn't Swerve
No,
City
there's
on
nothing.
That?
No, that's Koi no Yokan.
I do like that album.
No, I know you do.
That's a good
album. It's a good album. I have it on vinyl just because I couldn't find any of their other albums at the record store at the time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this just to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damn, why can't I think of songs on that fucking album?
I don't know,
but it's a really good album. I enjoy listening to that one. Diamond Eyes is a really good album to listen all the way through. I think you bought me that on vinyl.
I did.
It's that's a great album. There's a lot of really good, really strong songs on that album.
I recently just told you this, but
yeah.
I was actually at the Diamond Eyes release party. To see my friend's band who were opening up for Deftones. I didn't pay any attention to Deftones, and I kind of probably should have.
He probably didn't even know who the fuck Deftones were.
I knew who they were because I knew Change in the House of Flies. Okay, so I'm not fucking completely ignorant.
Nah.
Anyways, all right, I'm gonna talk about one of my albums.
Okay,
because it was one of those things where
I had it on my list.
I don't think it is.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think it is.
All right.
So, it actually recently came on, one of the songs came on from that album because I just had my music on shuffle and I was like, holy shit, I need to go back and listen to this because it is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's a debut album from this band. When I say band, it's one man.
Oh, God.
And that would be 9 Inch Nails. Pretty Hate Machine.
Oh, okay. That's not what I thought it was going to be.
Watch your feet, girl.
I know, I'm sorry.
Kicking the camera.
I didn't mean
kicking the fucking camera.
I got really long legs, guys. I'm sorry.
Anyways, no, for real. Fucking Pretty Hate Machine. I love every song on that album. It is solid all the way through. Oh my God. It is just so, so good. I'm forgetting all the track names because I've never really looked at the track names just because I literally listen to it every time all the way through. So of course you have like Head Like a Hole, Sin, Only.
Only's
Hold
not
on
that album.
No, I'm thinking of a different one. Hold on.
Terrible Lies.
Terrible Lies. That's a good one. Now we're getting awkward silence because I can't fucking get my shit together. When I said Only, I meant The Only Time. That is the song I was thinking.
I'm like, he has another song.
No. Yeah. He has another song, which is a good song. Down in It. Like I said, Sin is really, really good. Like that's one of my favorites.
You know what? And now that you're looking at, I went and looked at Saturday Night Wrist. Like that is one of the only albums that I have the whole thing of like in my like phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, I have that
Really?
whole album. I don't think I have the whole album of White Pony. And like the rest of them, like I kind of like pick and choose, but like I have the whole, like I can listen to Saturday Night Wrist like all the way through because it's like, I don't know, like if you watch like, you know, music documentary shit on like YouTube and stuff like that, like, you know, them talking about Saturday Night Wrist, like it was just kind of like a difficult album for them and like them like breaking up or like almost breaking up and them not being in like a good place, and that really fucking sucks. But I'm like, that's a great album. Like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that time it worked out for them.
Yeah.
But a time that it didn't would be Gore, because they even said that there was like, you know, issues with.
I haven't watched anything about Gore, but I
haven't watched anything about Gore, but I was reading how like Stefan was super unhappy.
Really?
He was like, dude, I want to do something more progressive and different than what we normally do. And like,
and that's why Gore is what it is. Because I'm not gonna lie, Gore is not my favorite. Like I like maybe one or two songs off that album. I was really disappointed about it, but I'm like, I still go to support them. I go to their shows. I don't give a shit. Like I don't care. Like I'm gonna support them. I love their music and I like what they're about. I don't give a shit.
What's another album?
Another album, and I kind of have like a plethora of different genres of music. I put Control, SZA. That's a good album to listen to all the way through.
Okay.
Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, all the way through.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. Because I mean, I remember when that album came out, and my little brother got it. Because I was like, "What the fuck is Linkin Park?" That sounds David.
Oh, okay.
Very lame. I thought like Linkin Park was lame, but I didn't know anything about Linkin Park. Like, you know, I didn't know anything about them. And then I listened to the album. I'm like, holy crap, this is pretty good. And like the first track is just like just hits you. And I'm like, it's Paper Cut. Paper Cut's the first track off of Hybrid Theory. And it's really good. That's still a pretty solid album. I don't think I can listen to it all the way through these days. But there's some hard hitters on that one.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's another one for me?
Here's one that we can both talk about. Tourist History, Two Door Cinema Club. That's a great album. That's a really good album.
I didn't expect that from you because we don't really, usually talk about.
I know.
Even though we both like Two Door Cinema Club, but we don't really talk about it. No. She always gives me shit for listening to fucking poppy ass music, but yet she likes fucking Two Door Cinema Club.
Oh, don't get like Backstreet Boys is on this list too.
Oh shit, which one?
Millennium. Okay. Millennium is a great album I can listen to all the way through.
That is
now.
A classic.
Yeah, because I'm like, that was probably I think that was like maybe the second or fourth CD I'd ever gotten, like ever. My first ever CD was Spice Girls, Spice World. Another one, I didn't put it on the list, but that's all another album I can listen to all the way through. Like, but that's just because, the nostalgia, and I love Spice Girls, and anybody can fight me about that, because Spice World and Spice, both very, very solid. Forever, can suck a dick.
So, real quick, this one, you're not going to agree with me. You do like this album, you do like this band, but you don't like every song on this album, but I do.
All right.
It's Nothing But Thieves' first album.
Is that the one with the horse on it?
Yes, that's the one with the horse. So it has Honey Whiskey, Ban All the Music.
If I Get High.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like, I love that album. And that album, like, That album really holds a special place in my heart just because I very much identify that album with us when we were living in downtown, because that's when I discovered them. And that was also when I kind of was getting back in this mood of like, or getting back into this whole like, oh, I'm in California again. I'm not living in Texas. I'm back in California, but I'm also in San Diego, which is slightly new to me. So like it's very nostalgic.
Oh, really?
To put those two together.
I never knew that. That's pretty cool.
Because like I remember sorry, I hit your mic, but I remember the first time I played it for you is because we were in La Jolla. We were coming back from fucking Galaxy Tacos. Is that what it was?
No, I don't know where.
I'm pretty sure it was Galaxy Tacos. We went with your parents and your family. I'm pretty sure it was Galaxy. We were getting back on the freeway to head back home. I'm pretty sure.
I think we were there for something else, but I don't know. I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
Fair enough. But yeah, so definitely Nothing But Thieves' first album.
Okay. Do you know the name of the album? In case people want to, like, if you never heard of Nothing But Thieves, you can go check them out. I only know it as an album with a horse on it. I don't know what the name of it. It might be a self-titled.
It might be self-titled, but give me 1 second here, guys.
So yeah, I have a few more.
Yeah, no, it's self-titled. That's
okay.
Why. It's Nothing But Thieves.
All right, it has a horse on it.
It has a horse on it. Indeed.
All right, next on my list, I already talked about Millennium, Backstreet Boys. This one, you say whatever the fuck you want, but Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon is a great album to listen to all the way through. Like, my parents took me to Laser Floyd, and like that was the shit. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just remember being like, it was like a crossroads for me. Like the first time I heard that, like I had been like in like a group of kids, like, you know, I think I was in junior high. I was like 12 or 13 years old. And I was like in this transition of like all these kids, like making fun of me and like kind of giving me a hard time because like I didn't want to listen to like rap and like R&B and pop all the time. Like I liked listening to other things. And like they kind of like, you know, would make fun of me. Cause like I started hanging out with a different group, like a group of alternative kids, just because like they were just like, hey, you're kind of like into the same kind of music as us, and I had really like nowhere to go, and they kind of like took me in as friends. No, it was middle school. Okay. It was middle school. And so, like, one of them was like, hey, like, we were sitting in, like, computer class, and I'm like, hey, check out this album. And we were on a computer, and I put it in the computer and, like, was listening to it while we were doing, like, schoolwork or whatever. And it fucking, like, changed my life. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is, like, the best thing I had ever heard. And it was, like, my stepdad always listened to, like, new wave and, like 80s. a lot of 80s, so
Danny Elfman,
yeah,
Oingo
Boingo, Duran, Depeche Mode, like all that stuff,
and then like early 90s stuff.
Yeah, and then my mom listened to like soft rock and like R&B, like old school R&B, like 70s R&B, like Al Green and shit. So like I just like kind of like I was conditioned to listen to pop music because that's like what all the kids were listening to, and even though that really didn't vibe with me, and I just like fought him so hard on like music to listen to because I'm like, oh well, that's not cool. Everybody else doesn't listen to this music. And then like as I got older, I was just like, this is the music I've been listening to my whole life that like, you know, it resonates with me. But like that was like the first time I had listened to Pink Floyd, and I was just like, holy shit, like there's this other level of music that I haven't listened to before, and I need to find this out. And like that's how I ended up getting into like Led Zeppelin and all this other stuff. And I kind of went into like this classic rock, like, you know, so it was just like pop, R&B, new wave, whatever. And then I got into like classic rock, and then as we got older we got into like punk and like rockabilly and like, you know, all this other stuff until now, and I'm just like listening to whatever the fuck I want.
So I don't like Pink Floyd, guys.
Most people don't. A lot of like my friend, like metalhead friends and like punk friends are like, fuck that shit, like, you know.
However, I can listen to David Gilmour's guitar playing all fucking day long. As a guitarist, I can appreciate him and his artistry and his musicianship. I just don't fucking like Pink Floyd.
But you know what I think it is you don't like the what's his name? The other guy. Like the Wall guy. Like the other dude in Pink Floyd. Like, you know, what's his name? something Waters. Roger Waters.
Roger Waters.
Like, I don't like his kind of Pink Floyd. Like, I love, like, the David Gilmour, like, kind of, like, watery, really mellow, like, melodic shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, like, I mean, I wasn't smoking weed at the time, but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
wasn't getting high.
no, I didn't know anything about that. But, like, just, like, I was too little, but I know that there was kids doing that shit, and, like, that's okay. No judgment here, you know, but I'm just like, that.
I was one of those little kids.
What the fuck ever. Like, you know, it did something for me, and it kind of, like, changed the, like, I don't want to say the trajectory of my life, but, you know, like, everybody has, like, that, you know, like, that scene in, like, Superbad, he's like, oh, it was, like, the first time I heard the Beatles. Like, you know, like, people have, like, those albums or those bands that, like, it did something to them, and they were just like, holy crap, like, there's this whole other world that I didn't know about.
So, just kind of go back to the point.
To reel it in.
Reel it in.
To reel it back in, because, like,
girl.
I kind of went off on a tangent.
Yeah, a little bit. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. That's why you listen. Anyways, or watch. Whatever you prefer. Any other albums? I would like to say, and she cringes every time I fucking say this album.
Is it fucking Taylor Swift?
It's not T Swift. It's not T Swift. And I won't mention his name either because, you know. Because
he's on the shit list. He's on everybody's
shit list. But everybody was listening to fucking Ryan Adams' 1984 like it was like fucking going out of style.
I thought it was 1989.
89. I'm sorry.
1984, you're thinking of George Orwell?
I am. Anyways, stop kicking the fucking camera.
Sorry.
Christ, back up. Back the fuck up.
He told me to scoot up, you guys.
Fuck up.
He's like, scoot the fuck up. And I'm like, okay. And then I kick the camera and I'm like, up.
Stop kicking the camera.
I don't mean to. I'm just stretching my legs out.
Like, fuck.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry, guys. What the fuck was I talking about?
You were talking about Ryan Adams' 1989.
Anyways, that's not the album I was talking about, though.
Okay.
You just brought up T Swift. No. Fucking Fleetwood Mac. The Dance, baby. The Dance. The Dance. Oh. Best live album ever. Fuck y'all. Fight me.
I think Fleetwood Mac is an awesome band. I've never listened to that album except, like, you know, songs he's pulled off for me to listen to. But
whole
I'm like,
album's fucking great.
I mean, but that's also one of those albums that because your aunt listened to all the way in the car, like, all the time. Like, that's an album that means something to you.
No, absolutely. And I feel like that's part of this. You just went, don't judge me. You just went on this fucking 30-minute rant about how Pink Floyd changed your fucking life. Suck a dick.
That's not the same thing.
It's true.
It's not. I'm talking about a specific experience, but that is something that you guys listen to all the time. But do you feel like because you listen to it all the time, it means something to you, or do you feel like it's like legit?
It's because one, essentially, it's a greatest hits album. The performance itself is fucking on point. The added band with UCLA fucking playing to like Don't Stop and shit like that is fucking great.
Okay.
Like that whole album has all their hits, and honestly, most of those songs that's the preferred way of me wanting to listen to that song. Like The Chain is whatever, but The Chain live on The Dance is fucking hard hitting, bass heavy, and it's fucking great. Big Love, same thing. Big Love is like kind of like techno-y and not techno-y, but like synth driven and shit on the official recording. No, this is just fucking Lindsey Buckingham and his fucking crazy ass right hand of a fucking player on his guitar doing like 4 different parts. Like, it's fucking great.
All right.
I'm just saying, y'all.
He was very passionate about that. And
that's right.
And that's what's supposed like
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Like, you know, like albums that mean some shit to you or that do something to you. Another one, Siamese Dream, Smashing Pumpkins.
For that. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
That's like everybody's. Let's be
Is
fair.
it though? Is it?
When it comes to Pumpkins, Siamese Dream is the album that everybody refers to as the greatest thing that they've ever done. As a whole, it's the greatest thing that they've ever done.
As a whole. as a whole, I enjoy Smashing Pumpkins, all of their albums, but that is an album because I didn't have a choice. Like, you know, like I would go through my stepdad's CD collection and I would just like, you know, just play albums over and over again in my little like, you know, Walkman, my little CD Walkman player. And I would listen to that like all night long. That and Nevermind, but like that's not on the list. But I'm just saying it's not on the list.
10 by Pearl Jam.
That's on the list?
Fucking great album.
I have never listened to that album all the way.
That's a fucking great album. I will say 10. 10 is a great album. Do you mind? I'm on airplane mode so we don't get interrupted with calls. Can I use your internet on your phone? Because there's an album I want to look up the name to.
Okay. And then while you're doing that, I'm going to mention another one. Love Deluxe by Sade. That is a great album. Like, I love to, like, light some candles and read a book and, like, just be kind of, like, you know, it's very, like, mellow and sexy and just, like, I don't want, like, witchy. Like, to me, it's witchy. Like, you know, I mean... You can fight me about that. Very seductive, but it's not. I don't feel like it's trying to be. Like, you know, that's just like her voice and like the music, and it's very jazzy and very like, it's just like, I don't know. Maybe with the candles and shit and like reading a book and like, because I think I was reading sexy books like Outlander, and like I'm just like, it's just a mood.
So there's an album. It's not a very popular album. It's not really timeless for anybody else probably. But again, it's one of those ones that hits me where I live.
Okay.
And it's by Ozzy Osbourne, the man himself. No More Tears album. Okay. So you got Mr. Tinkerton. You got Mama, I'm Coming Home. Fun fact about Mama, I'm Coming Home. That song was literally drilled into me to like it. And what I mean by that is like one time I forget where me and my aunt were going, but we were going on some trip and she played it and I was a kid. I'm like, I fucking hate this song. Let's change the song. I can't stand it. I hate it. But then like I started really appreciate it. It's a fucking great ballad. You've got like I say, No More Tears. You got Hellraiser. That's a good Ozzy track. And this is like Zakk Wylde era. I don't think it's the first album he was on, but it might have been. It might have been the first album that Zakk Wylde was the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. So another reason why I appreciate it is because like back when I was like into like metal and stuff, like Zakk Wylde was the shit. Like I liked Black Label Society. I was one of those kids. Fucking speed metal and shit.
I'm wearing a Dio shirt and haven't mentioned fucking Holy Diver. Like,
Holy Diver!
That's a great album, too. That's also another album I can listen to all the way through. Like, is it one of my favorite albums? No. But I think, like, it's timeless. I mean, I like listening to Dio.
I love Dio.
I feel like he's really underrated.
Shit. Yeah.
And you know what? Because, like, one of my friends, she's like, fucking Dio sucks. But I'm like, you know what? Ivana's like,
this is a shout out to you. Go fuck yourself. You're wrong.
You know what?
I love you, girl.
That's not nice.
No, because like I'm sorry, but like fucking Dio, like Black Sabbath's Dio, like
Heaven and Hell.
They call themselves now that.
Oh, not anymore. They did.
They did.
They're not dead. He's dead.
Anyways. But like I love Sabbath, like Dio Sabbath. That's some good shit.
It's really good.
That's some
voice,
fucking great shit.
His voice is like really, really like. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I mean, Ozzy Osbourne, he's very distinct, but Dio is just like, I don't know.
I mean, Dio's just a better singer. I'm sorry, Ozzy Osbourne's iconic because he's different. The same way I feel like Billy Corgan's voice is different. But as a traditional singer, as someone who is literally using their vocal cords as an instrument, fucking there's fewer greater than Dio, in my opinion, in the metal genre, rock genre, if you will.
Yeah.
By the way, we're drinking the cheap shit today.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with a little high life.
Good stuff, especially I had it on icy.
Yeah,
and I was
left it in there too long. It was quite delish. And I even had a sip. Anyways, guys, let us know down below in the comments timeless albums to you and why they're, they hold a special place in your heart.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's like a bunch of them. Like, I mean,
we're going to think of a bunch of them when we end this topic.
After we're done. Like, oh shit, we should have talked about that. But,
it happens every
let us know,
time.
like, what you're into or, something that means something.
And if you're listening to the podcast only, join us on the Facebook group and tell us on there your favorite timeless album. Hey guys, before we get on to our next topic, again, be sure to like this video, subscribe, click the little bell so you can get updates on when we upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Join us on the Facebook group and follow us on Instagram. Topic number 2 comes from moi. And, quarantine, watching a lot of television. We always watch a lot of television. But that being said, Netflix has a stable of exclusive shows and movies, and that's what I want to talk about. What are some of the best? What are some of the worst? What are some of your faves? You want to lead this off or you want me to go?
It doesn't matter.
All right. So first one I want to talk about, because I feel like we'll talk about it the most, just because I think it's the one that we've actually probably watched the most. Big Mouth. That show is fucking great.
It's really funny, except I didn't really care for the 3rd season.
The Florida episode was fucking hilarious.
I didn't think that was funny. Like, I didn't think the 3rd season was funny. Like, compared to like the first 2, and even then, like, I didn't think the second one was as funny as the first one.
So you're saying it's declining?
A little bit, bit.
Like,
because I feel like Andrew's becoming like an asshole. Like, he's just becoming like an asshole. And then
for sure.
And Nick was always kind of a little asshole, but like it was like cute, and like now it's not. It's getting like less cute.
Fair enough.
But I guess that's like, part of adolescence, which I appreciate. I feel like it's pretty spot on with what it's like growing up, especially in this day and age.
Fucking shorts.
That's what I don't wear. I would never wear white pants for that reason.
It was her first time. What are you going to do?
I know, because my mom was always like, oh, wear white pants. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not wearing white pants.
Hell to the no.
Because she wears colored pants. No, I don't believe in that. That's a pretty good cartoon. Like, I think it was just like kind of surprising. Like, I don't watch a whole lot of Netflix, so this is a kind of a difficult topic for me. But
I feel like that's the biggest load of shit, because we were going through the fucking list and there's quite a bit on there that we do watch.
Yeah, like it's over time. Like, but like I don't watch Netflix like every day.
But it does have a good stable of shows that
Okay, so another on top of Big Mouth, Stranger Things. I do enjoy Stranger Things. Like, season 1, and I love season 3. Did not fuck with season 2. Like, season 2 was just a big bore for me.
Season 3 was better than season 2, but I feel like how you feel like with Big Mouth, decline.
Really?
Season 1, peak. Season 2 and 3, it went down on season 2. And kind of pick it back up.
No, I absolutely loved season 3 of Stranger Things. Stranger Things, like the third, I think I vibe with it the most because I'm like, this is like, I don't know, like the 80s and like the mall and like that stuff, like that's really cool, and like, it makes me think of like old time 80s movies.
Mall culture is definitely cool. That was definitely a cool aspect. Ooh. But
excuse me.
I've said this on my other podcast that I'm on. The biggest thing that made season 1 for me is the X-File vibes that I got from it, with like the mystery corporation / government
and see
body.
Like what got me was like whole Goonies aspect, and he hates the fucking Goonies.
I fucking hate the Goonies, but that's a topic for another episode.
But no, like that's what I loved about them. There were a bunch of like little nerdy kids, and like this crazy thing happened to them, and I was like weird stuff, and I thought that was super duper cool. Like I could vibe with that, but like I've never seen X-Files, so I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Like it definitely has got like Smoky Man vibes for all those fans out there of the X-Files. Like I think I will say season 4 is I'm kind of excited for, because it looks like they may go into that because of what's his face.
Hopper?
Yeah, Hopper. because of his story arc that might
Like him being in Russia?
yeah, like they're
How did they get him to Russia? I guess we'll find out. But like I just wonder, like I'm just like, how the fuck he get in Russia?
Who knows? Anyways, but yeah, no, I think that's the exciting part for this new Stranger Things season 4. Because I just really did appreciate that side of it. I wanted to learn more about that. Like I would love a spin-off series where it just follows that corporation / government entity to like do like a spin-off and like the kind of like weird pseudo science bullshit that they get into. I would really go to town on that.
Maybe.
I guess what I'm trying to say is
whatever.
Like,
he wants X-Files.
I just want some new kind of like X-Files kind of thing. Let's talk about Superman.
Superman. Oh, The Witcher?
The Witcher.
Mr. Henry Cavill, who is delicious. Just delicious. He don't get me wrong, I didn't find him attractive as Superman because I don't find that whole superhero that thing. I don't find that attractive, but he's very attractive in The Witcher. It might be the white hair and the contacts. I don't know. In the tight pants and fighting monsters.
Like it.
That does something for me.
Fair enough. I really like this show. For all those who are like, it's not like Game of Thrones. It's not supposed to be like Game of Thrones. It's supposed to be
cheesy and fun.
It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be like in the realm of fucking Masters of the Universe, not fucking some dire ass, political move bullshit. Like it's supposed to be cheese. It's supposed to be like traditional fantasy, I guess you would say. Game of Thrones is not, it's a drama, okay? This is truly a fantasy show. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. I wish they could have got him a prettier bitch to be with, not Quasimodo, but
damn, throwing shade.
It is what I can't remember what is her name? It's something stupid.
It is something stupid. I don't remember any of their fucking names.
Except him.
Gerald. Yeah.
Anyway, he's very delicious in that show. That's a fun show to watch. I was very hesitant to watch it because I thought it was super stupid.
The first time going through and you're like, oh, we're like when you first realize, oh, we're jumping back and forth through fucking time, that was a little off-putting. But once you put it all together, I would say, especially through the second watch, it was more enjoyable.
Yeah. No, I had to watch it a couple times because I don't know. It took me a couple episodes to get into, but I know some people who really, really dig it, and some people are like, it was just too cheesy for me. But I like the amount of cheese. It knows what it is, and it's not, it's staying in its lane. It's like, hey, this is what we are, and we're not trying to do anything else.
So one of the shows, I want to keep with this fantasy thing, and I just want to briefly go over it. We both didn't finish it, and they just canceled it.
What?
Dark Crystal.
Oh, I got scared. I thought he was talking about Castlevania because I'm like, I really like that.
No.
We haven't finished season 3, which is a travesty, but at the same time,
we're trying to pace ourselves.
Yeah,
it's some we've mentioned this before, but that is something that we do, which is if it's something we really like, we try to pace ourselves and put it off. Because once we go through it, we're going to be sad that we don't have it to watch. And sometimes not everything is meant to be watched multiple times. So we like Evil Dead.
That, and I feel like I don't have to watch Castlevania again. The first 2 seasons, I don't need to watch those again. I watched them. I don't need to do it again. So I'm I want to pace myself for the 3rd season, even though by the time we finish it, the 4th season, I'll probably, is there going to be a 4th season?
But that's how I want to do it.
That's fine. And if they don't do anything with it, then I'm like, oh, well, then I have this to watch still, and that could be that.
Yeah. So, okay, so we went on Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
I didn't even finish it. We never even finished the first season.
But I appreciate the artistry.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate the puppets. I appreciate the actual, effects.
It was a lot more enjoyable than the actual movie. Some people are like, oh, The Dark Crystal's great. The Dark Crystal is a fucking boring ass movie. It is super duper boring, But the puppets and the story itself, I think, is really cool. It's just the lore. Yeah, I think the lore is very cool. But like, I just couldn't. It took me I don't think I ever finished the movie. Like, I got to like a point, and I'm just like, this is really boring. I've been trying to watch it because I feel like I should watch it because I love puppets and Jim Henson and like that kind of like, I love Labyrinth and whatnot. Like, I feel like I should like this, but I really don't.
Let's go back to their animated, because there's one that neither of us have watched. I've watched some of it. I just can't get into it, but people swear by it, and I just don't understand. Help me understand, guys. BoJack Horseman. What the fuck? It's not funny. It's not enjoyable.
I mean, it is to like, a certain kind of people. I mean, I've watched it, but not enough to be able to tell you about it. I just remember it being like, wasn't it like really like heavy on the sarcasm?
It is.
And like, some people think that's funny. Like just like
people
Seinfeld. People think The Office and Seinfeld is funny, and I don't get that.
You can't rub Seinfeld and The Office. I love The Office.
I will loop them together because it's just like a thing that people like are diehards about that I just don't understand. Because I've tried watching both shows multiple times, and I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it, but it's not for me. Like, I like kind of slapstick, stupid humor.
Let's see. Another one that we do like, though, or like, it's passable. It's enjoyable, but it's not amazing, but it's also enjoyable. Paradise PD.
I forgot about that one, yeah.
First season was fucking hilarious.
It was pretty funny. Like, it's really dumb, and that's not a show that I can just put on. Like, I have to get myself in the mood, but very slapstick, and like, it can be. There's some really funny parts to it, but at the same time, I'm like,
So, what else you got?
All right, one, because of the new season just started yesterday. Hill House, great show. I'm excited for Bly Manor.
But the thing about Hill House, me personally, is not something I can watch multiple times.
I don't think that was meant to be watched multiple times.
But it was fucking great.
I think I would rewatch it to find Easter eggs.
I really, really appreciate how some horror these days is really blurring that line, or like talking about mental health. I feel like that makes a lot of today's horror like just very enjoyable and intriguing, willing to tackle that subject, because like, you're like, oh, is this person crazy, or are they really seeing this shit? And I appreciate that. But yeah, Hill House is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's a great show. It made me feel all my feels, and it made me scared, and it made me sad, and it made me cry. Like,
Yeah, so just so you guys know, a little behind the scenes, we're recording this like the day after
Bly Manor.
Bly Manor just went live. So
yeah.
We're definitely going to watch that and let you guys know what we think about that show. So stay tuned for that. Or at least she's going to watch it.
Yeah, it looks actually like it, because it's more on the lines of the kind of horror I'm used to. I'm really excited about it. It looks really scary to me. And I'm kind of excited about that because, I didn't know what I was going to get from it.
Boogity.
I didn't know what it was going to be like, like Hill House. I'm like, is it going to be, jump scares? Is it going to be like, you don't know. You don't know. And so this one seems like it's going to be kind of on the path of like classic, like scares, like being scary. And I'm excited about that.
What else do we got?
We got Umbrella Academy. Great. Like,
Okay, hold on. Don't let her fucking fool you. She wasn't sold on this show.
I was not sold on it.
She wasn't on fucking board like I was on board.
No, the first episode I thought was really, really intriguing in the first season. And I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. This is interesting. And then, like, each episode, I'm like, fuck this show. Like, I'm not going to watch it anymore. And then I keep watching it. And I'm like, okay. And then I watch another episode. I'm like, fuck this show. I'm not going to watch it anymore. Like, it kept going like that. I kept getting like, I don't want to watch this. But then the second season happened. And I was like, this is going to suck. They're in, like, 1960s Texas. I don't want to watch this. Like, I already know this is going to be, especially for, like, Allison. Like, I'm like, this is going to be triggering for me, and I don't want to watch it. Ended up being really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it way more than I enjoyed the first season. A lot.
I like the story arcs that they went on the second season. With Allison, finding love.
Which I'm just like, how did you find a man in that amount of time? Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, you were just married. You had a child. You were in love with your brother. Your not so brother, kind of brother. And now you found a man in the 60s to marry you when you couldn't talk. Like,
there's probably a sexist joke there.
I mean, I don't know. Like, her gifts, whatever. Like, I don't know. I guess back then, like, you didn't have a choice. So, like, I don't know.
No, I definitely think for her that arc, it was more it was originally done out of like a safety move. But
because in the comics, there's no black people. Like, they're not multiracial. So I like that in the show that they are.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to season 3.
You know who somebody I can do without? Like, I fucking hate Ellen Page in that show. Like, don't get me wrong.
White violin.
She was better in the second season. Like, she was more palatable.
Why? Because she's living in her truth?
I mean, probably. She was living in... I don't care about her personal life and real life. Like, no. But, like, I don't know. She was just kind of like this whiny, like, I'm not special. Everybody else hates me. Like, but nobody actually said that to her. Like, nobody was mean to her. They were just like, hey, you're not safe here. You shouldn't be around when stuff is going down. Like,
yeah.
Just out of her safety. Like, and I just hated that. Like, oh, like, all by myself. Oh, like,
yeah,
my parents,
and
like, my family
they
doesn't...
really play into, like, season 1, she is a weaker character because it's just like, oh, you're the gullible, like, you see the tropes of, like, the first guy that comes along to pay you any fucking interest kind of shit. Like, I get it. But season 2 definitely
much stronger. And number 5 is like the best.
I fucking love that opening scene in season 2.
Oh,
like when you get to see their powers in full effect. Like Klaus is like fucking levitating and shit. Like it's fucking cool. And he's got the full on like goth like trench coat shit.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate that. But
I was sad about Ben. I really love Ben as a character and like the fact that he could be with them. But I'm guessing like the way they're gonna spend the third season, he's gonna be kind of like their nemesis, kind of. I don't know how they're gonna spin that.
Spoiler alert. They go back into the future,
to the future,
and yeah. They go back into the future, and it's like an alternate reality.
But, I really loved Ben as a character. Like, he was probably one of my
Sparrow Academy, right?
Yeah, Sparrow Academy. He was one of my favorite characters throughout the show, even though he didn't really get that much time. I'm glad that they gave him more airtime in the second season, but he was definitely, like, they're all kind of, like, I don't know. They're all kind of fucking annoying. Like, they all have something, like, annoying about them. Like, these little things. And I really liked Hazel and Cha-Cha, like, their kind of story arc. Like, they were interesting. And, like, if they, I don't know. I guess they couldn't do a show about the, what do they call the
company? I'm just going to call it the company. The Time Company.
I don't know.
Anyways, what else? Is there anything else that you want to mention? A quick little shout out since this has been going on for a little bit.
Yeah.
Tiger King.
Tiger King was entertaining. We watched Kimmy Schmidt for like a minute, and like that was like the first season was funny, but like I couldn't watch that again. Like it was stupid. Like that's stupid.
Yeah.
But like that's
like traditional sitcom.
Yeah, but I love Titus. I love Titus in that show. Like he makes that show. Like if he should have his own show.
Side note: our little character is Titus. On
Netflix,
like
it's Titus.
Our profile is
because he makes a show. Like I don't think I could have gotten through it without him. He makes it funny. And Sex Education, I love that show. Like, it has so much.
See, that's not something I really got into.
You watched it a little bit, but like
What I saw was okay.
Yeah, he tried to rewatch, like, because I was watching the second season. He's like, this is kind of interesting. Maybe I should go back and watch the first season. And he watched like a couple episodes of the first season, but never followed through. But like, it kind of gives me like, you know, like Degrassi vibes. Like, because I watched Degrassi: The Next Generation and stuff. Like, growing up, I would argue
that it's more
it's more relevant.
Well, no, it's more relevant, but also I was gonna say more British, but
yeah, no, because they're
it's like very like British misfits and British. What's the other one I'm thinking of?
Skins.
Skins.
Skins, because I liked Skins, the first 2 seasons of Skins.
Yeah.
And like just their experiences as teenagers, I'm like, holy crap! Like they go through so like I don't know if it's really like that. Like I'm just speculating.
That's what you kids are going through these days, but if you're holy shit.
Yeah, I know. Like I can definitely identify with it as an adult and like be like, oh yeah, like some of that shit happened to me as like a kid or whatever. But like it has heart and like this like it's a good show. It's really funny and entertaining and it's heartfelt when it needs to be. And like it's an entertaining show and I'm excited for like the 3rd season.
Fair enough. Well, guys, we actually didn't really get to talk about the movie aspect because there's not a lot of them, to be honest. But if you're interested if you're interested in what we think about the movies, let us know in the comments below. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. Again, please subscribe if you're enjoying our content. Click the little bell, that way you get updates. Join us on the Facebook group so we can talk, we can converse, and have a good time. And follow us on Instagram where we just post stupid shit.
All right.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.